right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the first and inaugural episode of Season 1 of the Mountaineer Podcast. I'm Ryan Sargent here with Brielle Kelly. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
So, we're going to get right into it here. Your career at Mansfield overall has just been phenomenal. Only missing 2 starts in your entire career. Just got your 1,000th point. I just want to start with that. What did scoring 1,000 points in your career here mean to you?
It meant a lot just because I've played with people like Katie Fitzpatrick and like having her on my team and seeing her get her 1,000 points and then getting mine. It's huge just to be in the same category as all those great players.
Yeah, I looked before we came in here, and you're one of only 17 players in MU women's basketball history to score over 1,000 points, and there has been 43 years of women's basketball here, so it's a pretty incredible feat when you think of all the different players that have come through here and the talents that have come through here.
Definitely.
So as far as this season goes, a lot of success with the team, a big jump from year 1 of having Coach Whitling here into year 2. What do you think has been the key to the success of the team this year?
Definitely this year, and I said it in the beginning during media day, the chemistry this year. The chemistry with the freshmen, they came in so, it was just so easy with them, and they learned very fast, and given we've had a year under our belt with Coach Witt, so obviously the first year we were trying to adapt, and this year's definitely the chemistry, and you have seniors that have been together for so long, and we knew coming into this to change a program, and it's our senior year, so we have to kind of do that.
Now you were also here and recruited by former coach Allison Tagliaferri. Mm-hmm. What has been the biggest differences that you've seen in, you had 2 years with Tag and now 2 years with Coach Whitling? What were the biggest differences you've seen?
They definitely have completely 2 different coaching styles, and being with Coach Tag, she also had former players that have been in that past kind of era that it wasn't so good, so she wanted to change that. So she was kind of going through that when this year Coach Witt came in fresh. I mean, not this year, 2 years ago, came in fresh, so he had a whole new aspect on it and didn't have any of that past thing. So he's more freelancing, and I feel like Tag had more plays to do. They were both coached very differently. I don't even know how to explain it, really, but it's just 2 different, and coming in and being here through the past, it's 2 different mindsets.
So now to get back to how you've contributed to the success that the team has had this year, you've had 3 30-point games this year and really just gone off on a lot of teams. What is, not to say you haven't done that before, but you've seen a lot more of it this year. What do you think has been, is it just being a more focal point of the offense, or do you think it's just the work that you've put in over the 4 years you've been here?
Yeah, I would definitely say I've matured a lot more since I have freshman year. I think this team, again, our chemistry and how we've worked, all of my points come down to, because I'm a forward, so that's all the guards. Everything their assists to me, otherwise I wouldn't get where I am now if it wasn't for them, because they find the passes, whether it's Mackenzie Hatch, Alyssa Mullins. Our high-low game is so crucial to my success. I couldn't even, she just finds it right there, and Melanie Taylor and Mary Kate Rumbaugh, just the way we know where each other's going to be, because we've developed, that creates my success, because they know how I play and I know how they play. So it's you can almost predict where you're going to be in the game set, and you can just get them the ball. And they've been doing a great job of that, and then I just have learned through that.
So do you think that being able to play with basically the same core group of players for 4 years has really contributed not only to your success, but where you guys are now sitting in the 5 spot with a PSAC playoff berth? Hopefully coming soon.
Yeah, definitely. I do think that's completely towards our success, because we all came in here constantly being told, you guys are getting recruited to come and change this program. So our mindsets have always been change the program, and we've always worked together, and we've had a very strong bond from freshman year. We all clicked very well. So that definitely comes towards the success by knowing what our job was coming into here.
Okay. So what down the stretch do you guys have to do to finish strong? What do you guys need to do? You got some tough games coming up against Westchester, East Stroudsburg, a lot of tough teams. And even tonight in your game against Cheney, like you said before, nothing's a given.
Nothing.
So what do you guys have to do, and specifically what do you have to do down the stretch to make sure that you guys can not only get in the playoffs but succeed once you get there?
I definitely think we need to continue playing how we have been playing. work together, work for each other. Because again, we all want the same goal in the end. But definitely our inside-out game, I think that has been crucial, because if I do, say there's a double in the post, I'm going to look for my teammates to get that shot outside. So definitely working an inside-out game. If we keep continuing that and finishing shots, like for myself, I need to keep finishing, getting my teammates their assists that they worked hard for to get me that ball. I think if we keep doing like that inside-out game, that'll definitely help us, and our defense as well with that.
Now, I talked to you about this before. You've only missed 2 starts in your entire career at Mansfield. What has been the secret to your longevity and being able, because the minutes that you play every single night, 35, 40 minutes a game, every single night you guys have a game. What has been your secret to being able to stay on the floor and be productive while you're there?
I definitely think, honestly, every time there's a game, it's just you give everything you have on that game. You prepare yourself mentally, physically for that game. So as it comes to my starting, I don't know. I just constantly work hard, whether it's at practice, during the games, and keep a confident mindset so I'm composed when that game time comes. And just kind of help my teammates have a leader to also look up to, because I want them to be able to come to me. So by having that mindset and starting those games, I think I need to have that confidence and be that person they can come to and kind of help them.
Right. So back to the accolades a little bit. You were just named ECAC Division II Player of the Week. What does it mean to have that kind of recognition? Not just from your conference, but from the greater, the Northeast region here of Division II athletics.
That's huge. ECAC, like you said, it's so broad and it has so many people in that category. And to even be put in that category against so many other great athletes that are working so hard as well.
Right.
It's huge, and it's a great honor to be even put in that, as well as the PSAC. But definitely it's huge to be in that ECAC, and it's a great honor.
Yeah. So after Mansfield, we're obviously coming up at the end of your career here. What's the biggest thing you're going to miss about Mansfield when you ultimately graduate, in not only the basketball program but the campus itself?
Mansfield's just so unique, and many people will say, oh, Mansfield, it's small, but I think that is what I'm going to miss. I'm going to miss having close relationships, whether it be with my professors in the comm department. They're great, and I'm so close with them. My teammates, because us 4 seniors, we all live together, so kind of waking up with your best friends and going to class, that I'll miss. And just the program itself, even this week, I've had so many people in faculty come up and congratulate you, and seeing faces that and you're familiar with, and having that close relationship. Mansfield is all about that, and I know when I do graduate, I can come back and call them and say, hey, how are you, and still have that relationship where we left off. So that's what I definitely feel is unique.
Now, what field are you looking to go into? I know we're both comm majors, but I've never really had the chance to talk to you about what are your career goals? Where do you want to eventually end up post Mansfield? Yeah,
well, we're communications majors, communication PR. I definitely will, since I live in New Jersey, I definitely see myself working by the city. I interned in Hoboken, so I have been offered a job in that area, so maybe work in there and just kind of do communications and see where I go, hopefully travel a little bit, because I definitely want to travel, but yeah.
Now, just to go back, there's just a multitude of awards that you've received in your time at Mansfield. ECAC Division II Co-Rookie of the Year, 2016-17 Mansfield Winter Female Athlete of the Year, ECAC Division II Player of the Week, PSAC Athlete of the Week this week as well, and also 2 times before that. What has kept you grounded through all this success? Pretty much from the time you got here, it has been nothing but, I'm not saying smooth sailing, but there's been success at every step, from freshman, sophomore, and all the way up. What has kept you grounded through this whole process of playing at Mansfield?
Yeah, all of those were absolute great honors, every single one of them, from our school recognizing it to ECAC, but I definitely think you want to get wins, and in the end, that's your main goal. So I think what's kept me grounded is still being hungry for more, wins. And I do, and I love all the recognition I've got, and I feel like that was almost the lead up to this season, if that makes sense. So I think by me getting that and starting almost a new trend here for Mansfield, I wanted those to lead up to what we were about to accomplish senior year. And I think it's kind of fate because it all lined up and like look at where we are now. So I definitely think that was the lead up of my whole class because my success is with my team.
Right.
So by us getting that whole class coming in, I think that's what started that.
So do you feel like being in the PSAC playoffs after 4 years of hard work and all the accolades, do you think that would finally be like the cherry on top of your career to finally get into the playoffs and have a chance to really do some damage in there?
Yes, I do think that, and I almost think getting into playoffs is going to be, obviously, because it's been a good amount of years, 2007?
2007 was the last time a Mansfield team, women's team, has been to the postseason.
Yeah, so I definitely think being in the playoffs, that's always our goal every season, to get into playoffs. And to almost be in playoffs and have a goal of keep going further within that playoffs, because I think this team is more than capable of doing that. So that would definitely be a keep getting further.
Right. Now, before we got on, you talked a lot about the relationships that you've developed with some of the younger players on the team. What's the one thing, if you could leave one thing with these players that are still going to be here, these freshmen, that they could pass on to the next group, like what would that one piece of advice be to make sure that this continued success, like this isn't just a one and done playoff appearance, that they can continue to build on this and go to the playoffs for years to come?
I would definitely say never be satisfied. I would never want them to be satisfied, no matter how many wins it is, no matter what your past records are or individual stuff. Never be satisfied on that. And I would never want them to be satisfied on getting just to playoffs. Like, you know what? Go even further than that. Like, keep pushing your limits. And that's what I would want them to do, whether it's at practice, like the small things, like push each other, because if you don't push each other, you won't get to those limits in the future, whether it's playoffs, whether it's to another game. So I would say never, throughout Mansfield University, never be satisfied with what you have. Keep going further.
All right. Well, Brielle, thank you for being on.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for tuning in. Please don't forget to go and follow the Mountaineer Podcast on Twitter and Instagram. On Twitter, @MountaineerPod, and on Instagram, @MountaineerPod. And also, to see the video version of this interview, please go on to YouTube and subscribe to the Mountaineer Podcast YouTube channel. Brielle, thank you again.
Thank you.
And we'll see you next week. So to add a little more fun here to the end of the podcast, we're going to play the word association game. I'm going to say something that could be related to Mansfield, it might not be, and Brielle's going to give the first thing that comes to mind.
Oh,
you ready?
I guess.
Coach Witt.
Goofy.
Coach Kelly.
Fun.
Mia Leonard.
Lover.
Cheney.
Beat them.
Beat
them tonight.
All right. Boy. Manzer.
Food.
Good food or bad food?
Depends on the day.
Depends on the. You're right. It does depend on the day.
Depends on the day.
Ryan Mack.
Love him. Funny. He's like an agent.
Decker Jim.
History.
History. Let me think. Sprint football.
Kyle Post.
Kyle Post.
Because of Alyssa, I think of Kyle Post.
All right. So what about Mullins?
Best friend.
Best friend.
Yeah.
All right.
My freshman twin.
Now it's all comm majors. This may be a good one. Holly Piper.
PR.
PR.
Yeah.
Super
I think
PR.
of everything PR with Holly.
Chinese food.
Oh, I love Chinese food. Sushi.
New Jersey.
Best state. Love it.
All right. Pennsylvania.
Farm life. I think of. Is that
A farm.
like farmish? I think it's because Mansfield's by the farm. I think of farm.
All right. I'll think of a couple more here. Mountaineers.
I think of the mascot, the Mountie.
Mascot, the Mountie.
That's what I
This
think
guy
of.
up here.
Yeah, I think
All
of
right.
exactly him.
And last but not least, basketball.
Oh my gosh. Memories, a lifestyle, guidance. I think it's all those words. It's created a lifestyle for me. So much more than a sport, basketball. That's what I would say.
All right. Thanks for playing.
Thank you. How was that?
Where'd that get us to?